14.
Well, what's your average loss percentage aside from your break-evens? Would you say like 40%?
I'm going to pull up my statistics real quick.
Sure.
But I just don't get that picture.
Just to FYI, guys, while we're waiting for Bayman, I actually have Jigsaw, so I don't know if this is something that you guys prefer over Zeero. If you guys want me to execute here instead, I will maybe think about it because I hate Jigsaw.
Why do you hate Jigsaw?
It doesn't show me anything. It's just literally a DOM. So, what? I don't use DOM to its full effect. I think it's a waste of talent to use it to its full effect. So, if you guys prefer me to do it on here, I can.
That's not right.
Yeah, Peter, fees do add up, but I mean,
the fees kick my ass.
I try not to care about fees. That's just me, though. If you're
when you're running
if you're worried,
that's what makes it really tough, though, right?
Yeah.
Because the micros add if you're trying to run I was running 15 micros, that was running me $30 a go.
Yeah, the fees will kick my ass. I can have a pretty good day.
So,
down.
The reason why I don't care about, this is because I'm a longer term trader, I guess, but I don't care about fees because if I'm running an ice cream shop or a fucking TV, retailer shop, I'm not going to care about the electricity. That's just the cost of business, right? You just don't care as long as you're profitable.
There's also the fact that you can also turn the lights, half the lights on.
No, but there's also a fact of you having a neon light outside saying, come in, we're open.
Hey, no.
That costs more.
I get you, but that's the point why I jumped up to mini instead of micro.
That's fine. It, depending on what scale and what
you're
everything.
Trying to say. I have to buy a computer, I have to have this, I have to have that. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I don't have to pay the most possible for my fee.
Yeah,
I think
you don't.
Or swim or whatever is $5. I don't know, right? But you don't have
6 something. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to pay the most you can pay. You can go and find the least amount of. I get what you're saying. You have to pay for the lights, but you don't have to buy the most expensive lights.
Today I am down because of commissions.
Well, yeah. Fuck. We had 160 trades, man. Shit.
Okay. Can I briefly interject to discuss a few key components if you're actually going to scalp with risk parameters this tight?
Sure.
You're not going to be able to scale. FIFO is going to blow your backside out like a college girl at a frat party. Second to that, if you're serious about taking 160 trades a day.
It's not 160.
No, I was joking about 160.
Okay, even 50 trades a day.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
Go on to CME's website and look up leasing a seat. That's going to run you about $3,000 a month. And it's going to reduce your commission and it's going to reduce your transaction costs by about 25%.
That might have to wait till I've graduated.
As a major concern is this is not something which is scalable.
And also, I am aware that this is too much. I'm definitely aware of that. Oh, you're not even talking about the number of trees. You're talking about the risk parameters.
Well, I'm referring to how small your take profit and de-risk is. If you try to scale this to even 6 contracts, you're going to start to see slippage due to FIFO unless you have co-location too.
He's manually trading numbers. He's not. It's not an algo like yours.
Oh, geez.
Yeah. Just a FYI.
And he called me a dirty clicker.
And I did.
But okay, before we talk about this, first off, honestly, Bayman, good shit for having the balls to come out.
Yeah.
Like seriously, it says a lot about you. Like,
Oh, no, I agree. I'm trying to provide some insight as to expectations as you grow your P&L.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you can't do this, but
are you biking?
Yes,
Or having sex?
I'm biking. You're playing in a reasonably small space that leverages small size.
Mm-hmm.
It's not something you're going to be able to scale. If you're okay with remaining reasonably small, by all means do this.
Yeah.
But don't expect to go to 50, 100, even 15 contracts.
So I don't see that being scalable at all, what I'm doing. To me, this is just the first thing I found that allows me to break even, be slightly green at all.
Okay.
So I've kind of stuck with it, but I am aware that it is not the best method of doing everything.
How long have you been running it? It's going to be market regime dependent. Sorry, Zeero.
2.5
You're
months.
good.
2.5 years?
2.5 months. Like, since I found this little niche that works and vaguely consistently. It's not red.
Okay.
But yeah, I brought all this up mainly, or I guess Harvey brought all this up. But I'm trying to start kind of sharing my fills and stuff, so I have accountability. I guess it gives me somebody to be embarrassed by or of from whenever they see my chart that has 100 fill arrows on it.
Oh, I can't wait to go out with you on Saturday night.
I'm excited, man.
It's appreciated.
I'm really embarrassed. I'm really good at that.
Okay. Back to I'll shut up.
No. You're good, dude. Do what you need to do. Say what you need to say. I do want to say that, Damon, you talked about this with numbers where, about scaling and stuff like that. You need to trade no matter if it's 4 micros or 4 minis or 100 minis. You need to trade the way you want to eventually trade. Right? So yes, it is viable now. You're breaking even now. But in the future, if you want to make, like, I don't know about you, and I've said this many times, like within the streams, like, I'm not saying I made a lot of money, but I made decent money working for a company. If I'm going to quit that, I got stock options, I got this, whatever, all this shit, right? If I'm going to quit that and do trading and not expose myself, but, essentially take that risk, why would I not want to make millions of dollars? Like, some people will be like, oh yeah, I'm happy with like $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, $500,000. I'm like, if I just stuck with my job, I would be making that right now.
I mean, that's the whole point of trading is you can scale it.
You're right.
Have something that works.
Exactly. So yes, you're breaking even now, but you want to trade to a point where you are meeting your goals. So if my goal is to make $30,000 a year, let's just say, and I'm not saying that yours is, your strategy is completely fine. But if you're trying to make 300,000 or more, or and these numbers are just guesstimates and soft, but if you're trying to make a lot of money, you need to trade a system that allows you to scale up to that amount, right? So I would say, if I were mentoring you, and let's just say you were posting or something, I would say, hey, take this 3-day weekend, and this is what I fucking made him do. Take this 3-day weekend. I want you to write every fucking thing down. Like, what's your goal? What's your strategy? What's your longer term outlook as far as the market? For let's just say a week or a day or whatever. Wait, hold on. Right.
But it's difficult for trading because there's no real parameters.
But the point is, I would make him write down like my theory of why I'm taking this trade, and it's just completely hypothetical. Is based on this, and this, and then my entry criteria is this, and this, and the only reason why I would take it off is because of this one reason, and then we would review that and go about it. And if his goal is to make again millions of dollars, but his entry criteria and exit criteria are so based on a lower time frame, I say that's not possible. It's just absolutely not fucking possible. So I'm working with him on that. Sorry, go ahead, Harvey.
Hey man, do you journal, or like how do you track your trades? Like, do you write them down? Like, how do you do that part of it?
I was writing everything down. However, I'm trying to get everything moved over to an Excel spreadsheet. Which,
right, and that's not a terrible, tedious process to make you want to trade less. I would think that would be hard work.
Oh, I definitely fail in the aspect of writing every trade down.
That's part of, like, it's such a pain in the ass. That's kind of helped me from not trading so much. It's like, well, you got to know what you're doing, because you're going to be into like an hour's worth of review at the end, or more, or 2 hours worth of review at the end of the day, and you're like, fuck, I got shit to do, and maybe I shouldn't, I don't know. I use Google Sheets. So like an Excel sheet is not like, it's unacceptable. I think it's perfectly acceptable. It's just, what parameters do you want to track? Fat Cat doesn't track trades. He tracks setups. Oh, I'm not suggesting he's doing it right or you're doing it wrong. It's just what do you got to really focus on what you want to, what like Zeero was saying there, like just write down exactly what the fuck you're doing helps a lot, I think, right? To but maybe it'll help you like lower, I don't know, maybe it's not a problem to have that many trades, but I think everybody's agreeing that it is kind of a problem to have that many trades, right? Like,
oh, I'm agreeing with it. Yeah. The problem is I nail a lot of trades, like my entries. Like the screenshot I sent you earlier. That is decently common for me to nail it. And I'm not, so though my stop is small, I'm not like, my profit targets are not small. Like my profit target, I guess.
Well, that's the whole thing, right? Like it's this illusion of this low MAE entry. Realistically, it doesn't matter how low your MAE is if you can't handle it afterward. And make it count, right? So what's your, just by ticks, not by money, but what's your average like take profit? Where do you normally do you have that stat of like where do you normally, like Specs likes to, I think Specs has it like 10 points or something like that, or he's like on average he takes 10 points and that's where he gets his, or whatever. I can't remember what he said, but he has that.
I definitely don't have a set spot. I use levels.
Let it run until, so what's your exit?
If we run and we hit the level, for instance, what's an example? VWAP. Then we start showing weakness. Like if I had bought, then I would close out one and maybe hold two. If we end up getting to a 50% retracement and are still selling off, I'll sell the second one. This is an example.
Sure.
It's not actually what I do every time. And it depends on what my total target is. If my target is another 20 points away, I'll hold my last contract all the way till it hits my stop.
How many contracts are you entering with?
It depends on the confidence I have in it. I'll either do 4 or 6, and then I'll just mitigate 1 to 1. Unless we are in a very volatile point, then I will do 3 contracts, but mitigate 1 to 2 or 2 to 1.
This may not be right, but the thought that's popping into my head be if you
Harvey,
just
talk
move
faster. I
your
need a pee.
What's that?
I said,
Me
talk
too.
faster. I need a pee.
Oh, sorry. Double your if you were to double your stop size, like so from 2 to 4 or 4 to 8 ticks of stop, how many less trades would that equate to?
Oh, I think it would. That
And
wouldn't
then
go.
how many winners would that equate? Like, you see what I'm trying to say? If you let it breathe a little bit, you get the same amount of profit in a sense.
Not
Because
really.
like if you think about it, right? If you take 8 ticks of stop, that's 2, 4, 6, 8. That's 4 trades. You accomplish it in 1 trade. You see what I'm trying to get at? Like,
So, for instance, if we're like selling off into a level that I have, and we bottom ticket, like my level, or near it, and selling doesn't come down to it, I will, like the second we stall at that point, and we have that bottom tick, I will buy and set my, which might be 2 to 3 ticks above it, or sorry, 1 to 2 ticks above it. I'll set my stop right below that bottom tick. And if it does not work out immediately, I'm flat, or sorry, not flat. I'm stopped out for minus 2 ticks. If it doesn't work out, I'm stopped out, and it'll go to another level. If I'm still looking to get long, I'll try again at that next level. So me increasing that stop, like I know I'm wrong pretty quick. Me increasing that stop won't change the fact that if it goes below that bottom tick, I'm wrong. If that makes sense at all.
Time frame do you execute on?
5 seconds.
Bayman, you've been here for 7 months and 14 days. So I don't know if you joined. I mean, my guess is that you joined here and was watching Fat Cat, and you found your way over here. Yep.
No, I came last like June-ish.
You came last July.
July, and I was gonna start
July
trying
3rd.
full time shortly after that,
Mhm.
but then some stuff came up with my son.
You were quiet for that being I get you.
Until like last December, and then I was here for a week or 2, and then he came to town for a few weeks. So, but now I'm back.
Oh wait, no, it's fine. It's not about that. It's no, I'm just listening to everything, and I mean, if you don't mind, let's take let's take one level of yours that you traded, and let's just look at it together, if you want.
Before we get too deep, just one last question, or maybe not one last question. Question: how did you get to this? Ask a lot of people that actually speak up. How did you find this server or whatever, like Fat Cat? How did you find Fat Cat?
I was trying to learn order flow, and I feel like that's a pretty common story.
Right.
Yeah, I was trying to learn order flow.
You were searching on the YouTubes for any type of DOM or order flow kind of shit. Ended up finding Fat Cat.
What are you, fucking Asian? YouTube's is YouTube.
YouTube.
YouTubers. 2 bets. There it is. Sorry, I'm almost kind of curious of how people kind of get to this, because what I feel is that everybody that's actually in the server is already a notch up above a lot of traders in a sense, because they're already looking fast. or everybody else kind of stops. Like Zero's capital flow thing is like level fucking 15. And
No,
most
bro.
people don't get past
I'm
level
done.
5 in trading before they either get blown up or give up or lose interest, or like you really have to love the game to get far in this, right? And a lot of people think it's easier than that, and they're like, I'm going to trade cryptos and make like fucking a fortune, then quit and something else, right? And like if you're any, I don't know, I think it was somebody, I don't want to name names, but another trader in the server said, I don't think I'm going to trade forever. I think I'm going to go to like the family business eventually. I was like, huh, I don't think I can go back now. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm kind of be a trader now forever. Maybe I'm just talking out my ass right now, but
No, I feel like that's the goal of most people. Like once they get into it, they get themselves very naively one way or another. I'm gonna make this work.
and that's what I mean about the once you get to the order flow kind of level of research, I think the damage has been done. You're not gonna get it back. You're not gonna get back.
I ain't going nowhere now.
Can we take about like a 2-minute break? I need to pee, but you guys can talk. I'm just saying, you know,
I
I'm
got-
gonna come back.
Let's all take a restroom break. Yeah.
Yeah, just 2 minutes. But we'll come back and I'm gonna address
You
this big man
fat
thing.
cat, why don't you piss in a bottle?
Well, because I'm not a fucking animal from Texas, all right?
What do you need a
Jesus.
litter box? You need a
Hey,
litter box.
No, he's white trash. Fat guy's white trash. And I will tell him he's a white trash. He's a rich white trash, which is the worst shit
What
ever.
kind of pickup truck do you think he drives? I know he's got a Honda, but
No. I know. I've seen his shit. I've talked to Fat Cat. Like I know his real name too, by the way.
It's with
Yeah.
I know, yeah.
I know Spec's real name. You know my real name.
Oh, that's a I don't know. Is Spec's name, is it what I would think it would be, or is it not what I would think?
Spectator.
Oh,
Don't ever ask me what I think you think things would be, Harvey. You super.
I'm on my own
I don't
level.
know.
I know.
Yep. You're level 15.
I am. It's more like level 16. Crank it up to 11, motherfucker.
All right, I'll be right back.
Everybody else short. Jazzy, what are you doing? You're back. All settled in? What time is it there? Find a place to stay, Jazz? $7:46 a.m. Awesome. Just fucking awesome. You're gonna have to figure that one out. Fuck. It's like a complete flip. You're in the future, man. Awesome. Hey, Jazz, what's the cost of that Airbnb? Like, what New Zealand? Is it U.S. or? There's nice. Fucking right, I bet it is. $80 US a night? That's cheap. Fucking cheap. Isn't it? That's cheap, isn't it? Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's cheap, man. Really fucking cheap. Just gonna want to fuck around here and take fucking stops out here. So, like, just right. Man, are you there? Baby.
Me?
So,
Yeah.
right now, like, are you still trading, like, actively working out?
Like at this very moment, I walked back
okay.
and I wish I had taken that short from the from BWAP, from RTH BWAP, i.e. from like 30 seconds ago. I cleared all my order history, so I don't know if I would have taken it because I can't see if any buyers were at 68.50 at all. But if they were not, and we stayed at 68.25 for a few seconds for me to get filled on a limit in, I would have taken a short right there.
And then and your stop would have just been right up above it.
Yeah, at
well then
68.75.
Okay, so that worked.
Then I would have gotten.
I don't see how you could do so many trades. Is that what worked?
Do what?
I guess I see it here. So, like, let's just. Do you have tried it over here at 1:44 a.m. or p.m.? Sorry.
144.
That's like a top. And then it came, and then at 1:46, it kind of stopped you
out. At one. Sorry, I'm looking for 144 on my 5-second chart. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about like just a second ago. No. We would have been too far away from that VWAP for me to do anything.
Oh, okay.
I will say there is a chance, though, I would have taken it anyways because there's the point of control right there. And that goes to me searching for levels when, like, all the time when I probably shouldn't be. For instance, and here's where the overtrading comes in. Because I would have been looking for a short around this price anyways. We would have hit that point of control, right? And I would have tried to take that short. I would have gotten mitigated. And then I would have been stopped out. So you're right about that. And then we hit that regular RTH VWAP. And I would have tried again there. In this instance, it would be currently working out. But if it had not worked out, at the RTH VWAP, I have full session VWAP 2 points above that.
Right,
where
70, 75, yeah. Or 70, 50, yeah.
Yeah, where I would have tried yet again. After that, we would have shown some acceptance into a value area that we had back from February 1st. So after we have been up in there that long and surpassed all those VWAPs and POC, I would begin looking for a long, but I wouldn't just buy right there. I'd probably wait for a pullback to the bottom of that value area, which is at 40.66-ish, which is also where point of control was. So that would kind of make me more excited to take that long right there. Which I wish Zeero was here, because that's what he was trying to ask a minute ago before we.
Yeah, it's kind of curious to me how you could bang in that many trades. It's like it's really there's a lot of trades.
Because then one of them runs and then I'm good. Then I've made enough to pay another 20 trades of fees.
Yeah.
20 might be a exaggeration, but yeah. I also likely would not have been filled on all those. Like in that example I just gave, the odds are price wouldn't have stayed just below that top tick long enough for me to actually get filled. Which would be fine if I was not stupid and then chased it. And now all of a sudden I have a 4 tick stop loss.
Okay, so is that part of the issue? Like you might have
Yes.
chased down into this, like let's just 40-65 area,
I
64-75.
I wouldn't have chased it that far, but if I was being stupid, I probably would have chased it down to like 67. Which then gives me a pretty sizable stop loss for how often I'm doing it and how often it'll come back and hit me.
What is he fucking installing the toilet over there or what? Fuck. And sorry, you said you were a commercial electrician?
Yeah, or union commercial and electrical, or sorry, commercial and industrial.
So are you roughing or are you
Everything.
new construction?
Everything.
Yeah, you go with the blockers?
The blockers?
The blockies.
The block.
Putting the conduit in the wall with the
Oh,
blockers?
yeah. But occasionally. I've only done that like once or twice, but
It's fun, isn't it?
you're talking like in center block.
Yeah. That's fun. That's fun work there.
That's fun. My favorite is which you might not even know what I'm talking about, but whatever. I mean, it's a shitty job. It hurts and it's miserable, but it's fun. When they put up forms and like big old concrete walls, they'll have like a bunch of rebar going up 40 feet. And before they put up the forms and pour the concrete, you get to like climb up the rebar and run pipe through that. And you just get to be a monkey like Spider-Man. That's cool. The shitty part is, though, they never do that unless it's the middle of summer in South America, or sorry, Southern America, and it's fucking hot.
All right, so Bayman, tell me a level that you traded today.
You just missed the whole shebang, Zeero.
Oh, you guys already talked about it?
Yeah, I'd like.
Oh, you were taking your time installing that toilet, so
Well, fuck. I mean,
I feel like everybody is going to hate me for repeating all this, but I'm about to.
no, you don't have to if you already did it. I mean, I'm hoping you got some good insight on it.
Oh no, I just shared everything I would have done.
Okay. Well,
And
I just want one level that you traded. That's it. We one level's enough for us to talk about, and not don't cherry pick a level either.
Okay. Well, one level I did trade was at 1254. Let me go back to it on my 5-second chart.
1254. That's not level. That's a time, bro.
That is a time. 1 second. Hold up.
Why is Fat Cat messaging
There
me?
you go. All right. I get long at 56.25.
Okay, this is a level of yours, right? Not where you got.
Oh, I'm sorry. A level would be, for instance, that composite value zone that we have from February 1st.
Okay. Give me that
Right now-
number.
Right now we're trading just below it. 65.50.
65.50. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So you trade this level. And let's just take it from the open, right? We come down right to that level, we bounce it, and then we break through it. Are you trading? Did you trade? When was your first trade for this level at 65.50?
Whenever we came back up into it at 10 o'clock, I was trying to
Eastern
get short.
Standard Time.
Yes.
Okay.
I was trying to get short right there.
Okay.
Actually, I was trying to re-enter a short right there.
Okay. Harvey, did you run him by the stuff I talk about or no?
No.
So if you're watching my screen, you entered at 10, and I'll put a vertical line there. 10 is right. And this is a 5-second chart because you say you execute on a 5-second chart, right?
I do. I'm not looking at it on 5 second. I'm not looking at that exact spot on 5-second chart.
Okay. So that's 10 o'clock right there for you, which is 9 a.m. Central Standard Time for me. You're trying to get short or long at this level?
Short.
65.50. Short. Okay. So to me, from my training style, there's no absolute reason why you should get short. So all indicators are derived from price action and volume. Would you agree to that?
Yeah.
Okay. So me simply knowing price action, and I will ask you this, from 1 to 10, what's your knowledge of price action? And just be honest. If it's 8 or 7 or 6, it's fine.
Probably like a 5 or 6.
Okay. So based on this price action right here, right? We came up. What is telling you that we're going to reject this level at a 5-second chart? This right here?
At 10:01, 24, like in 24 seconds.
Sure.
We had that.
That's a rejection.
Yes.
Okay.
There were no buyers right there.
Mm-hmm.
Like no buyers got to 68.25.
Okay.
Or I'm sorry, no sellers got to 68.25. Nothing was sold at that price.
And where are you looking to take this short, assuming it worked out?
I would have taken it if it had. It did. If it sticks around like 68 or 67, 75 for long enough to fill me on a limit, I would have been limited in short.
And where are you looking to take this though? Like
my first target would have been. Let me find it on the other chart. At 58.75.
58.
I'm sorry. I probably would have taken my first contract off the second selling started slowing down, which I did actually. I took my first contract off at 65.50.
Okay. And your ultimate goal is where?
I never would have held it this long, but my goal would have been like absolute longest downside target was 40.25, which is a value area low from January 26 from a while back. But likely I took that contract off, and if it had continued selling, I would have took another one off towards the low of day right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would have seen how order flow and price action was behaving around low of day before either holding it past then, or if we showed a rejection there, I would have closed it.
And I'm assuming you put your stop loss right above that at 68.50 or so, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, that's cool. All right. Why a 5-second chart? Sorry if I'm grilling you, but this is the only way I don't want to beat around the bush.
So I have it on I forget what Zeero charts calls it, a Zeero chart DOM. And if I go any smaller, or like a 2 or 3 or whatever second, I can't really see back in time as much as I'd like to. Okay. Any larger than that, I'm just not able to see the micro changes in price.
And you like these 2, 3, 4 tick stops?
They work. They currently work for me.
Okay. So would you rather take 5 losses in a row for 1 point, or would you rather take 5-point loss?
Probably the 5 in a row, because then it'd give me multiple chances to get into a trade.
Okay.
Like if I took,
I'm trying to understand the psyche, right?
If I had taken a 5-point loss right there, I wouldn't have been comfortable trying again once we got to that value area high at 80.
Okay. So this is what I see. That's fine. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because obviously this is the first time I spoke with you. I don't really know too much. It seems to me you're trying to pick tops and bottoms.
Yes. Which I know is bad.
Yeah, it's you're paying for misinformation because you don't have that information.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, and this is something I preach in here, the more information you have, the more you pay for it, meaning your stop loss. The less information you have, like you entering at 67.75 or 67.50, you're paying for that in a sense of a smaller stop loss, but you don't have information.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I have what I'm.
So sorry, go ahead.
All I have is a level there that starts to show that it's being respected, and that's it. Right.
You see a level there, it's sort of respecting it. Price actions, we're not really telling you that. And for the most part, you're picking a high. Because although that's not the high of the day, we came down on a 5-second chart all the way to, at that time, 57. We bounced. There was no consolidation. We broke multiple points right here, right here, right here, right here, to the upside, including here, to the upside. So this, on a micro scale, is actually trending up.
Mm-hmm.
So you're picking a high, right? You're not waiting to reverse. Had you entered elsewhere, where in this time frame there was a reversal, meaning a break of pattern, because right now we're just going, high, or stupid magnet. Let me just delete that real quick. Remove this magnet. So essentially we're going high here, small pullback, here, up, down, here. These are all like fractal levels, right? So we're not really breaking any kind of pattern. Sorry, here it is. We're not breaking any pattern, and you entered right here. But this is typical higher highs, higher lows, right? This one was a failed high, and it comes back, but it's not printing a lower low. If it printed here, then that's a break, and maybe that's a rejection. So what I'm trying to say is that it just keeps on building higher and higher and higher. You're not really looking. You're really trying to catch a falling knife, or in this case, a helium inflated knife. You're trying to fucking stop. So I'm not saying that's a bad way to trade, because that's the way I trade, but I look for confirmation. So I much rather take an L, which I didn't because I don't have a level here, at this level right here, which is actually really bad right there. And the reason being is because it actually consolidated and then broke down this lower high afterwards. I'd much rather have you do that. Yes, I'm taking a bigger loss. I entered, let's just say I did enter 70.75, and I exited at 73. So that's essentially a 2.25 point loss. I'd rather take that one hit and have that run against me and try again another time and have it fail than to keep battering it over and over and trying to pick a high. Because when you're trying to pick a high, you're going to lose a vast majority of the time. And for you to actually, your win rate to be 28%, you said?
I gotta go find it again. 1 second.
I think we rounded up to 30%. And then you didn't tell me your loss percentage. But let's just say your loss percentage is, and I'm going to be really, really fair with you. But let's just say your loss percentage is at 30% and you actually break even 40% of the time, right? Mm-hmm. You having a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio gives you a negative EV. Like negative in a sense where you're making pennies on a dollar. You would need easily a 4.5 in order to make money. Does that like kind of ring a bell, or kind of understand that? So, and 4.5 isn't hard for someone who's taking such a small R, but you need to, and this is something that you said previously, you will scale up or down based on your confidence level. And I don't want, it's late for me because I'm in Asia right now, and it's 3:00. So excuse me if I sound like a dick, but all niceties aside, your confidence level is not important. It's really not important, baby. Like, some people say, oh my God, there's A+ setup, so I'm going to load up. Yeah, that's dumb. Because your A+ setup is just as good as your shitty setup. And your shitty setup is just as good as your A+ setup. Meaning, you should just keep your risk consistent. Now, if your A+ setup is always that's fine. Meaning, if your A+ setup is always 6 contracts, that's fine. And you don't fluctuate it. You don't add more or less. And you have it seriously defined, that's fine. And then you can go backtrack it. And I will tell you that you'll be quite surprised with that quote unquote A+ setup versus B setup. Because I find my B setups and my A+ setups actually perform the same amount. Because at the end of the day, it's you, it's not the setup. Does that kind of make a little bit of sense?
Yeah, so I usually, I'm comfortable trading 6 contracts. I usually don't do less unless I know I'm being stupid.
That's good.
It is good. An acceptance that I'm doing something freaking dumb. And
The point is, you don't vary it. You only vary your contracts based on the risk and reward. Or sorry, the risk, not even the reward, the risk. So the way I trade is no matter if it's ES or the Dow or the wheat, soybeans, lean hogs, doesn't matter. I keep my risk the same. I will reverse calculate it. My entries here, my exits here. I want to risk, let's just say $1,000. How many contracts can I afford? And I get as close to that $1,000 mark as possible for every single trade. So if it means that I'm putting on, and let's just say I put it on for ES and it doesn't happen this way, but let's just say, or actually no, I put it on for nat gas and I want to take a short in nat gas, but based on that risk parameter, I can only trade 2 contracts. I'll step it down to a micro. So I can trade 20 contracts and I have more flexibility with scaling, right? So that's the way you want to actually attack things. This is my risk. This is my exit. This is my entry. Based on that risk parameter and how much each loss is, and I want to only take $1,000 loss, I can trade X amount of contracts, and you will always wanting to enter with X amount of contracts because you want to keep your risk consistent. If you don't keep your risk consistent, you're going to win some and lose some, and sometimes you're going to win more than you lose. You're going to win the bigger trades by accident, and you're going to lose on the smaller trades, which you're thinking you're doing something right. But at the end of the day, the law of large numbers will dictate that things will come back to the medium, and you're actually going to you might fuck yourself, is what I'm saying.
Oh, I do.
So 2 things. Like I would say, if you're going to operate on a 5-second chart, you need to look for price action on a 5-second chart, because I don't see any price action on a 5-second chart that says that you should be getting short here. Now, if I look on a 1-second chart, I will see it. Hold on. You said you entered at 10 o'clock?
I left that whole area on my chart. 1 second. So there is.
Okay,
did not
right here.
doing one more time.
Right. No. I was gonna say. I think I found it. You entered at 10 o'clock, right? So, did you lose or make money on this trade? Just FYI.
Broke even.
Okay.
It was at. I entered at
75.
10:01, 34 in 34 seconds.
Okay.
So we made that top tick. We sold off a little bit, and then we came back up to it.
Yep. Okay.
And then
you entered what price? 66.75.
Yeah. I just had like a limit order sitting right below that.
And you broke even because you mitigated risk?
Yeah.
Or you mitigated risk in what sense?
It sold off 3 points. I got filled there and got mitigated there. And
So if you got short at 66.70, okay, you probably got in at a different time. Let me just double check. You said 10:01. No, what time did you enter? Sorry.
10:01:34.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, you mitigate risk. Okay.
Yeah, I was doing a pretty bad job at explaining. There's a little bit of nuance. Like I do wait for a very tiny reversal. Like I don't just put a limit out there. Second we have a top tick, I wait for it. I mean, it's a tiny reversal, but say we're getting bought up, we make that top tick, we sell off a point below that 5-second candle. I'll put a limit in, hoping for price to retrace to that high and respect that top tick, and then fill me there. Or sorry, retrace till.
No, that makes sense. Okay. I'm just trying to think right now as far as and what time frame are you looking at for directional moves?
I look at a 2,500 volume chart.
Do you go from a 2,000 volume chart to a 5-second chart?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is the equivalent of maybe a 45-second chart, depending on what time of the day it is.
Yeah, that's way too small. Rule of 30 is you want it to be 30 times more. So if you're looking at a 2,000 chart, you divide that by 30, and that's what you should be entering with.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm looking at an hourly chart for directional moves, and this is just an example, right? I'm looking at a 5-second chart divided by 30 to look, or sorry, 2-minute chart, sorry, to gain my entries, and then I'll jump down to a 5-second chart to look for precision entries. So, for instance, whoa, all right. So let's just say this is an hourly chart, right? This kind of played out yesterday, so I'll just show it. If I'm looking to enter, I'll box it right here, right? This right here yesterday at the low of the day. If I'm looking for entry here, I'll jump down to a 2-minute chart, and then let's go to the box. I'm looking at, say, then I'll refine it and be like, all right, cool. So I see that it's kind of reversing here. And then let me just zoom in on this area right here. That's where I want to get in. And I'll look in a 5-second chart. And I'll do this exact same shit where I'm looking at that area and then looking for refinement. Sorry, guys. Let me just pull this and pull this. All right, so here. And I'm looking for a long here, right? So actually there's only one long, but here. So I see that we come up. Let me just enlarge this. All right. So I see that now I'm boxing even. I'm saying, cool. I like that exactly right there. I'm not cherry picking this, by the way. I see that exact bottom right there. And this is where I'm looking for. And it breaks that. But I'm looking for it to retest this area. So is this a good retest? It could be. You want to take a long here? Sure. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's just say a shitty entry right there. And I'm still going to take my stop there. 101 risk mitigated. Oh shit, this is actually short. I'm just showing you what I do. You don't have to do that. Actually, no. I said it was going to be up here. Right there. And the risk is mitigated right there. And it comes back and stops me out. And I enter again. I much rather do this and stops below this low right here. And then risk mitigated at right here. Actually lower. Okay, risk mitigated here, and I'm just holding it. And then whatever your target is, you hold it to that. I much rather do that than picking a level and completely hammering it over and over again. So that's the way I do it. So if you're doing it from that sense, you need one more time frame in between or above or whatever, above, in between, to zoom in a little bit more. So if you're doing a 5-second, that's fine. I do a 5-second too, but 5 seconds is the last thing I look at.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you want to, I'm sure you've heard this before, you gather the trend based on a higher time frame. Your thesis is on a middle time frame, and then your execution is on a lower time frame.
Yeah, I do look at longer time frame charts.
Okay.
I mean, I look at TPOs as what I use.
So if you're looking at a longer time frame chart, there's where was it? there's almost no reason for you to want to take this down. I think you said, what was it, 40 something, 42?
That's just the lowest target I would have for it. Today, it would have mainly just been that low.
But you, okay.
955.
Okay.
And if sellers were still active, I would have held it. But as we see, it didn't get down there for a while.
Yeah. I just feel like it's too much of a move for the daytime. And I do think you need to stick one more thing in between to confirm that.
Yeah.
So just keep in mind that you are trying to pick tops and bottoms. Even on a micro scale, you're trying to pick tops and bottoms. But if you're at the very worst break even at this point, I don't think it's wrong. I just think that to me, it's yeah. Go ahead, sorry.
The problem is it does work. There is, I know I already said this, but also I kind of regret using the verbiage for it. But there is a little bit more nuance to it. And I don't like using that because
no, I'm sure there is.
More. But it does work. Like it works very well when I don't overtrade it. Like when I actually wait for my levels.
Well, the fact that you are overtrading is really because you've done it 3-4 times, failed, and then that 5th or 6th time or whatever at that level, or whatever, has gained you all that money plus more. So you keep doing it.
Yeah.
Right. So trading is not that though. Trading, just like in poker, and I'm sure you're from Atlanta, you play poker. It's exactly that. It rewards you for making stupid plays once in a while. And it shades you from really knowing what is the true, outcome of that or the real scientific outcome of that. You could play 7 deuce. You could play 6-9. You can play queen 9 or queen 8. Queen 8 is probably worse, or it is worse, and win. But that doesn't mean it was a good play, right? You could double down on 12 in blackjack and win, but that doesn't mean it's a good play, right? So when you're taking multiple entries and it finally works, it's great. But it's almost like a shift in martingale system where you're double downing on your losses and you keep on going until it works. But what if it never works? So let's just say you wanted to get short in that level. When are you going to give up?
Oh, I'd probably take one more shot at it, and then I'd be waiting for it to go to the other side of the value area.
So you have a set, at the 6550, you have a set number of tries per level.
3.
3 tries.
Yeah. Sorry, that's the rule. That does not mean the rule gets followed.
Right. How many levels do you have per day?
Oh, depends on where we're trading and where in relation to where we've traded in the past, but I'll say like 8.
8 levels?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, reduce that, first of all.
Well, at this point, I'm trying to get statistics on what is respected the most.
Right. I don't think 6560 is a bad level, by the way. Not at all. I don't think it's a horrible level. I do think that you giving it 3 tries is fair. I usually go with 2. And if you break even, you can go for another try. So it doesn't count as a try, in my opinion. Do you think that maybe you're reading the day type incorrectly?
Well, I'm honestly trying to, every time I try to decide or make a educated guess on the day type, I
Mm-hmm.
end up not respecting my actual trade rules, like the actual setups.
Yeah.
For instance, we broke out of that value area, like to the downside, and showed a good bit of, like, we spent some time and put a lot of volume down there, and then we retraced to the bottom of that value area. So that, and also we're one time framing, like we've been selling off the last couple of days and auctioning lower. So the setup would be to take that as a sell once we got back up and retested that value area low, to my understanding.
Well, two things. I think that you're not wrong with saying that we're selling off, and I hate to use what you just said. FT71's one-time framing down. We're not one-time framing down. Do you listen to FT71? Is that where you got that one-time framing down?
No, I just know that is how I've heard John explain it to y'all a couple times whenever he's talking about TPO. I just consider it auctioning lower.
Okay.
Over the last
We're
days.
on a daily time frame. We're not really one-time framing. We're just in a range.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like, I don't know if you have any charts up, but just look on a daily time frame.
Yeah.
We're really not doing anything. We took out that specific. Excuse me?
We broke down from that range.
Right. Last Friday's low, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at all session. So we broke out that and we came right back up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's really not much else there is to it. So we're not really one-time framing anything. When you one-time frame something, you're really closing above and below a good level,
Mm-hmm.
or a strong daily level. So perhaps maybe your thesis could be correct. I think perhaps your day type evaluation is not there yet.
Well, at that point, we had got down, continued selling off. So at that very point, we were just retesting that value area. After we broke out above that, I was all aboard. Yeah.
Which you should be, right? I think that's
after we retraced that, I quit having a bear thesis on the day.
okay. And you come in during pre-market meetings?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're well aware that we have a low right there. At 60, 75 or whatever, right?
At 1 second. 60, 75. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'm just thinking right now.
Yeah, a lot of your levels kind of correspond to, or at least near, like within a point or three of a lot of the things that I have. Or a lot of the things that I'm looking at.
The best traders actually lose a lot of money because of over trading. So it's not a you thing. So I know I've made money and over traded after I made the money and lose it, and only then the last trade I make all the money back and more, and it kind of reinforces this bad habit of over trading.
Yeah, that long around 11:32 this morning, I sent a screenshot of it to Harvey, and it was kind of ridiculous. But I think I got where's it at? Yeah, I got long there at perfect. Yeah, like a tick from the bottom.
Yeah.
So going back to the reinforcing thing.
Yeah,
but actually that was an awesome trade. Like I was also looking at Delta when that came through.
I mean, I took that trade as well, right? So with low high Dave,
deviation bands, like the second deviation bands on full session and RTHB webs.
I don't really look at that, but I took it off at a fairly good price. Ultimately, I was looking for 75.75, which eventually I hit right now. But my point is, I think that I think that with the whole overtraining thing, I think that you're going to give yourself. You need to slow down, meaning you need to write your journal like Harvey was talking about. But I have a feeling you don't actually write it in.
Not every trade.
Yeah, you should write every trade.
Summarize.
Right. If you break even, take another shot. And then if you don't break even, write it down. Give yourself that chance to just cool off.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what helped me with overtraining. I just start writing things down. I think that's the only way I was able to get over it. I don't know if it can help you, and maybe other people in here can chime in on that, but that's the only way I can, I was able to get over trading. And trust me, there was a point in time where I was taking at least 20-something trades per day. And I was winning. Yeah. And I was making money. And I thought I was, and people told me stop. And I didn't listen. I did not. If you're making money or at the very least breaking even, you have hope of making a lot of money. Why would you ever listen to anyone about stopping?
Yeah.
But you're going to blow up. I don't wish it upon you. It's just, it's almost a certainty at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm probably going to go on to Sim until I get that under control.
And I think you should start trading like the way you want to trade in the future. Mm-hmm. So like for me, when I was, learning capital flow and trading many different instruments, I was on Sim. And I was on Sim for not a very long time because I've been trading for quite some time now. I started trading when I was 18. I started working for a prop firm when I was 20 as an intern. And I started officially trading when I was like 24 for my own desk. And I stopped for some time, but I had enough experience where I could sim for 6 months and be okay with it. With learning new stuff, capital flow. Mm-hmm. So I sim for that. And then I started trading differently because at the end of the day, my goal was to get to a certain amount of a certain caliber, and me taking 1 or 2 tick losses, because trust me, this is how I found Fat Cat as well, is because I was in love with Fat Cat's MAE. But the truth is, if my goal is to trade many different assets, because trust me, ES is not going to be this volatile all the time. If you want to trade different assets, you need to fucking stop thinking about like 2 tick losses, 3 tick, 4 tick losses, right? You need to just trade the way you want to end up. How old are you, Bayman?
27.
Okay, so you're really young. Okay.
Yes.
But yeah, I think ultimately you just need to trade the way you want to ultimately trade and just trade it with smaller size. And if you take a 5-point stop loss, just take a 5-point stop loss.
I know, but it's so big.
It's not sized down. It shouldn't be that big.
Yeah.
If you're trading again, like if you're trading like 5 times and you lose 5 times in a row, 1 point each, it's the same thing as taking 1 trade for 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, 1 trade for 5 points is actually less costly than 5 trades for 1 point. Especially if you're trading micros, by the way.
With the fees.
Yeah. So, and I'm not a person who care about fees, but it's okay to take that drawdown.
Mm.
If you're winning, let's just say, even 40% of the time with a 2-to-1 risk reward ratio, you're fucking killing it. Like you're literally killing it. So
I got a question.
Yeah, okay, go.
I don't want to interrupt you, but you were talking about ME, MFE.
Yeah.
And so I mean you've been kind of speaking like in my head for like the last 20 minutes because I'm like right at that point in my trading. And so the ME MFE problem that I come across is it's very psychologically demoralizing to look at your MFE and then look at what you actually pulled out of the market, right?
You play sports in school?
No, never played sports. I mean, I wrestled, but
Okay.
that's it.
That's a sport.
I guess so.
But you're competitive.
Yeah, very.
Yeah. So drop that. Ego and competitiveness is horrible in trading. The MAE, MFE doesn't mean shit. If I told you I took 100 MAE, but I made a 10,000 MFE, what does that mean to you? Nothing. But what if someone said I took 1 MAE and I made, I don't know, 10 MFE or 100 MFE? It doesn't mean anything at all.
I kind of disagree. I mean, because there's a certain point where you go, if you let 9,000 points come all the way back to zero,
Mm-hmm.
like there's probably something wrong with your system, right? Not
Well, you're talking about
you.
letting something go positive to zero. I'm talking about just MAE, MFE.
Right.
Right. So MAE, MFE has nothing to do with something going in your favor and then coming back to stop you out. So if someone has the same exact MAE, MFE ratio and they have the exact same hit percentage or EV or win percentage, it's the same goddamn thing. Right? Assuming they both only take, one entry per idea. It doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think I guess what I'm saying is to optimize in order to optimize your trading strategy,
Mm-hmm.
keeping an eye on MAE, MFE.
It's bad.
It hurts psychologically, right? So you don't know if your system is good enough when you're trading it because you're going, I'm leaving a lot on the table here. I might have a good win rate compared to my risk, relative to my risk. But at the end of the day, something's coming back to break even after, say 1.2 to 1 rather
Right.
than, waiting out to your, 2 to 1 every time.
So that's two things, right? One is mitigating risk. I'm sure you've heard it before. It's just about getting out so that you can leave your stop at where you're truly wrong. That's one. Two, it's I know I'm fighting an uphill battle being in Fat Cat's room, having all of you guys probably coming in here through, watching his videos, where everyone has a mindset and is, enamored by his, precision entry. But he's special. He's really special. I've seen Fat Cat, and I've been through with Fat Cat where he was not doing that. And he was not making money. I've been with him when he made money, but his MAE, MFE just didn't make sense. It's can you get to his level if you practice hard enough? I want to believe that you can. But at the same time, you're also putting yourself through a lot of stress because you're so focused on the MAE and the MFE. If you can mitigate risk and you know where your MAE is at, or sorry, your stop loss is at, it's a risk-free trade. If you only hit 50% of those, at the first target to mitigate risk, that's a free trade, excluding commissions. It's a free trade. You're just sitting there and seeing how far it runs, and it can run really far or it cannot. But at the very least, it's a risk-free trade. But personally, for me, and I'm not saying anything negative about anyone else, I don't think looking at MAE is a good thing. I think it's actually a really, really bad thing. I think you should get away from that. Looking at MAE, I think that people are loving it because it shows that you have precision skills, which is great. But again, I've taken bigger trades, and this is not a dick comparison, but I've taken bigger trades than Fat Cat because I just don't care about MAE. If I cared about MAE, I would have been stopped out a million times before I got in. But I knew where I was wrong. I entered, and I'm gonna let it run. Whereas, he's more, or he was more focused on drawdown. And actually, and I'll tell you, and this is, you can ask him, he's streaming now, but when he stopped caring about his MAE is actually when he started making bigger and more money. He still shows it because it's still a very chest bumpy, chest pounding type of thing. But
Right.
when he stopped caring about his MAE, because I remember in our other room that it was just me, him, and a couple other people, the focus was on MAE. Until now, he doesn't care about MAE. I've seen him take 18 ticks of drawdown. I don't exactly know how many contracts it was, but I've seen him take drawdown where previously he would only take no more than 6 ticks. Like you scroll up, you'll see it. So, he's been wildly successful today, more so than any other year. And he had the best year last year, and this year I'm sure he's going to break that as well. For 2 reasons. One, I'm not really specifically talking about this year, but overall, it's because I think he just not gave up, but he didn't care as much. He knew his idea. And then secondly, him and I had this back and forth thing about having our best year this year, and he's kicking my ass. But the point is, I think if you focus too much on MAE, it's going to hurt you.
I've been focusing more on MFE. The MAE to me isn't as important as the other end of it. I guess I've been really working through my targeting. My entries are decent. My stops are in their right place. I know for a fact.
Mm-hmm.
But it's how much it's coming back to me that I'm my targets seem to be too static, too precise, I guess you could say. And if it doesn't get hit, I don't get out, and it seems like it hurts me more than it helps me. And I guess
so. If something goes against you, if something goes in your favor and then comes back a little bit, meaning you didn't get out at the very top, is that what you mean by the MFE?
Yeah, no, it's more so that say it didn't quite break out into a 1-to-1 yet, or maybe at a 1-to-2, 1.1 to 1.2 or so. And then it comes back all the way to my stop, right?
Yeah.
So instead, because moving to break even at a 1-to-1 is okay, but I mean, you kind of, I don't know, it seems to be a coin toss sometimes. So letting those kind of roll around, like a 1-to-1 seems to be very obvious to a lot of market making, and it pulls back very, very often back into your 1-to-1 to make you, stop out break even.
Wet a little bit.
Yeah. Get out break even, right?
Mm-hmm.
So to leave those on, I've been really trying to tweak that, the favorable excursion, I guess, to say, should I just be getting out at a 1-to-1 and then waiting for that pullback and then get back in? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it depends on your thesis, though, right? Like,
yeah. I have a
Okay,
hard time
so-
determining the type of day to know that a 1-to-1 is good enough, or I should wait out
Well,
for that 1-to-2. I think,
You need
as
to
I'm
join
talking
the
about it, it's kind of
pre-market.
like where it seems to be landing for me.
Yeah, well, you need to join pre-market. I don't know if you do, but I don't think you do.
Yeah, I don't think I'm
Um,
on it.
Okay, so I've highlighted this before, but I'll highlight it again. If you're watching the screen, I don't know if you are, Gecko, but if you are, watch. And then I already flagged it right here. I got short in gold. If I'm looking at any kind of MAE, MFE, or any kind of small time frame shit, once we get to this level right here, I'm taking it off, right? There's plenty of small time frame price action that tells me that I should get out. And if from here and it bounces up, I'm like, oh shit, I just, I could have got out at the lows and blah blah. And I wouldn't have, I would have had $500 or $1,000 more or whatever. But how about the next day? Look at this big ass drop. If your thesis is on that time frame, your exit is on that time frame. You don't want to change it. So my thesis was on a bigger time frame, and you can see the clear levels that I have, these blue lines. So when it got to here, I did take some off, right? And then I let it ride. And all these other levels, the volatility was just so high that I was like, well, why would I ever take it off if it's so fast? So until it got to here, roughly, actually here, I took it off because this kind of started on a lower time frame. It's like I made enough money, and this is what is this, a 2-day trade, not even a very long trade. But my point is, if your thesis is on that time frame, your exit is on that time frame, nothing else. If you zoom in and try to exit on a smaller time frame, I guarantee you're going to leave a shit ton of money on the table. And even if it goes against you a little bit, no matter what, if you were to exit, you're going to leave a lot on the table. So if you're executing, let's just say on a 5-minute time frame, and you zoom in on say a 1 second, or I don't know, 1 minute or even less 30-second time frame to find an exit because you want to nail highs and lows, you're going to leave a lot on the table. I've always used this, and I know Fat Cat uses this now, and I've always used this. You have a fucking great hand in poker. You're going to just take it off and just win whatever's on the table? No, you had a great entry, like you just said. And Bayman, you have the same thing. You have good entries because you fought for the entry. You paid for the entry through losses and or through limited information, not misinformation, limited information. Get paid for it. So let it run on your time frame to where you think it's going to go. If you take it off any sooner than that, then that's a really bad thing. So for instance, as it ran down to this point right here, overnight was choppy. I don't care. I don't care about overnight. I don't care about Asia or London session in that sense. Once US opened, it ran down again. Cool. Asia session was choppy, sure. And then the next day, we're choppy in the US session. Yes, I want to get out. I don't want to be in this anymore. As a matter of fact, like I was actually telling my group, 1841 was the level that I have to exit, which is all the way down here. Had I just left one contract on, that would have made a shit ton of money. But my point is, you need to exit on the same time frame your theory or your setup is on. You don't want to zoom in at all. Don't get into, like, in my opinion, don't get into a mentality of wanting to earn every single tick. And this is the whole thing, Bayman, we were talking about, the whole Apex thing, is that's really bad habits that you do not want in the long term. In the short term, it feels great to pick highs and lows. And even the levels I send out, I always say, I don't want it to stop on a tick. That's actually On an ego side, great, but on an execution side, horrible, because you're not going to get filled. Whether you're entering or you're exiting, you're not going to get filled. I don't want that. I actually want it to run past a tick or two, even a point. You know what I'm saying, Gecko? Like,
Yeah, because it's at a V bottom. I mean, you gotta
right.
have a V. Yeah.
So when you enter a trade, you need to exit on the same time frame. So if your theory is on a 5-minute chart, exit on a 5-minute chart. You can drop down to a lower time frame to enter to get a precision, whether it's a DOM, tick charts, 5-second, whatever it is. But you're always going to exit on your time frame chart. Don't exit on a smaller time frame chart. You're going to leave a lot. Your theory is going to scare you out. The price action will scare you out. Don't sit here and, for instance, and I've heard people say this so many times. They go up, down, whatever, right? Let's just say that's a market. And they say, oh, why don't I just buy here, sell here, rebuy, and then sell here, rebuy, sell here. Or some even more idiotic people would say, I'll buy here, sell here, go short here, cover, buy here, sell here, short here, buy here, short here, whatever, long here, and whatever. It's like, dude, come on. Seriously? You think you're that good? That's just impossible. For me, I much rather, and this is just my method, buy here, sell some around this area. When it gets to here, reload, add more. So let's just say you enter with 4 contracts. You sell off maybe like 2 here, 1 here. You're net 1 right now. You're net 1. You buy additional 4 here. So now you're net 5. Sell 2 here. So now you're net 3. Sell additional 1, maybe another 1 here. So you net 2. Add 4 more. Now you're net 6. And you just keep going. If you read it correctly on a higher time frame and you feel like this is it, this is your end goal for your time frame, well, let me just keep on buying, adding. But I'm going to keep something on, because at the end of the day, we don't know if this is going to do what this just did, pullbacks up, pullback up, or is this going to do this? We don't know.
Right.
Right?
Are you basically bringing your stops up to the structure lows at every turn?
Only if it's an important level.
So you're leaving your stop all the way before your entry, below your entry.
My stop. Yep. My stop is initial stop is down here. So after exit this, then my stops are down here for the additional 4 that I added. But this +1 will remain here.
Oh, okay.
Right?
So you don't trail that up. You have a secondary stop that's below that.
Yeah.
swing
Because
level.
this could be a failed take right here.
Gotcha.
Right? Maybe I enter twice. I don't know. I might enter twice, and then it finally goes. I'll take it. But I'll leave it right here for this +1. Right? And as it breaks up further and does this, and I re-add, then I'll take this +1 and I'll move it here. It's getting a little bit messy, but so then after it breaks this significant, whatever, then I'll trail it here. And then after I re-add and it comes up, then I'll trail it here. But this is something that I struggled with early on when I start learning this method is, why do this? Because at the end of the day, when you want to be always in the market, long or short, on the higher time frame horizon, if you are, let's just say, long bias and it keeps going long, you want to sit long, even with 1 contract, as long as possible. That's the way you make your money. The longer you're in a market, the more money you'll make. The goal is to always be in the market, not try to pick tops and bottoms. If you try to pick tops and bottoms, you're actually going to lose money, because the fact is, if the market does something like this, you're not expecting to pick this bottom, sell this top, rebuy here, whatever. The truth is, If you're great, you're going to buy here, sell here, right? And you're probably not going to even get this leg. You might rebuy here and then sell here again. So you actually miss a lot of it instead of just riding it. You know, the fact is that we're not going to get every single point correct. So you want to stay in the market as long as possible. I try to always be in the market. I always try to have something on, whether it's currencies, whether it's gold, whether it's, you know, the indices, wheat, fucking lean hogs. Like, I'm just always in.
And then what do you do to protect yourself from a ranging market? Because obviously that doesn't work well when things are just.
I don't trade ranging markets. I only
how
trade ES in a range because for the masses.
Right, but how do you know? I mean, I guess that's part of my other problem is like we were talking before. You know, the morning stuff that you do is you kind of get an idea for what the overall direction.
The day type is, right?
Yeah.
So, let's look at ES real quick. Actually, I don't know what this is like. Let's look at ES on the daily. Right. Let's zoom in actually on the daily. Sorry. It looks blurry. All right. Can you tell me this is not a ranging market? This is on a daily time frame. Looks pretty goddamn rangy to me. Sure. Are we going to get 100 something points? Yeah. But we're fairly on a range, right? Like a bigger time frame range, we're on a range. So that's one.
Say the range started back beginning of February, right at that peak there. Are you saying that range?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, because obviously there's a micro range that's happening, you know, in February on a day time frame, but you know, all of July, you know, was pretty trendy.
Yes. And if you probably weren't here, but you know, there's a lot of points where I just held. You know, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, although I'm very proud of it. You know, one of my biggest wins is like well over 500 points. Off one contract, not a lot of contracts. One contract, 500 points.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
that one contract made more than all my other contracts within that same trade combined. It's just about being in the market at all times. So back to the thing, it's like, you can't tell me we're not in a range. This is clearly in a day range, right? So if you see this on the upper end of this range, so say this Tuesday, well, yeah, we can still have a 100-point move or 70-point move, but we're in a range. Don't try to like play a breakout. Don't try to do anything. You're just playing the edges. This day, even though there's plenty of buys, you should be shorting and shorting only. Right? Today, you should be buying and buying only. Right? Last Friday, you should be buying and buying only. Right? You kind of see that?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So you just zoom out. And then I think a lot of people who use a DOM, they don't zoom out. They just kind of get lost in their, and me included. And there are times where I'm so lost within tunnel vision of a 2-minute chart, 5-minute chart, 5-second chart, tick chart, whatever it is, that you don't zoom. I'm like, wait a minute, why the hell am I trying to sell this market? It doesn't make sense why I want to sell this market. Like today, for example, can you make money on sells? Yeah, but there are way more opportunities on the buy side than there is on the sell side. Right? So this is today, right here. Can you make money on the sell? Yeah, but there's better opportunities on the buy side than there is on the sell side. So I would come into a day and be like, today's buy only. Buy first before you sell. I said that today. I said, we're buying before we sell. You're not selling this market. And if you were just to locate areas you want to buy and buy only, you know, whether it's Bayman 6550 or my levels, you're just buying it at those areas. and you're looking for the price action or whatever entry method you're looking at to buy, and you're not looking for an extension upwards, too far at least, right? You have a bigger chance of an extension upwards than you have an extension downwards, which is why, today's pre-market right here was 1 and 2 were all up. We're all up because that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for an up movement. Unfortunately, situation 1 or scenario 1 didn't really play out because I thought I was going to drop down to this 47.25 level. And by the way, Bayman, 47.25 was like absolute low for me, meaning if we drop any further down, it'll be a really catastrophic trade, a black swan event, so to speak. But I expected this chop, hence this weird, back and forth thing. I expected that. So for the most part, actually, scenario 1 actually played out really well, where we bounced these levels and chopped this level. I expected to chop this level and come up, which we're doing. So understanding day type is really important for the both of you guys.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still figuring it out, but yeah, I mean, because I do 1 hour supply demand area zones. So obviously today was definitely a buy day because we've been in that very not a tight range, but 100 point on a day range is pretty tight.
Yeah.
But it's those internal days that inside the range, when you don't know where things are going to go, that I really just have to learn to sit out because they're just like a coin toss. It feels like, days like today are almost easier than a day like yesterday where we're halfway between both ranges, I mean, the top side and the bottom side of that range.
Where are you from, Gecko?
The Northeast. USA.
Yeah. Where? Okay. I'm assuming you don't want to say the state, but all right, fine. That's fine. I mean, just hop on. Hop on for the pre-market. I'm always here. At the very least, 15 to 30 minutes before the market opens, we talk about what we think is going to happen. So, or at least I talk about it. So, you should jump on and just see if the day type that I'm talking about lines up with what you're saying or what you think. Right. Bayman, you too, right? So I think that you'll benefit from, what's your platform you use?
Sierra.
How about you, Bayman? He's eating, so SE, okay. The guy that was supposed to program in SE is just not here. But it's fine. I'll show it. This is a day type where this how do we do this cleanly? I programmed this, so I gave it to certain people, but give it a second to load. Okay, there it is. So look at the day type, and these are. I say that it's a standard deviation, but it's really not, okay? Because standard deviations are equal highs and lows, meaning they'll go from, the -1 and the +1 are equal distance, right? Mine doesn't do that. Mine actually takes an account of the regime of the market. So look at the day type, and this is, I'll zoom out to a 5 minute, I think it's fair. Okay. And this takes in account. So look at this right now. We're already at So this is daily -1, daily +1, +2, +3, -2, -3. All the green lines. So if you're looking at this and you're like, well, shit, from a daily perspective, we're already at daily -2. Which means if you want to drop down to, and I think you said 40 something, 42 or something like that, it's not impossible to drop below -3. We have. But for a day on Friday, and we're coming to a 3-day weekend, we're not going to extend that far and have it hold that long. Right? So we're most likely going to fluctuate within this area. And as a matter of fact, if you look at my pre-market, I'm having scenario 1 come all the way back all the way up to 105.25. Maybe even, maybe 97.50. So my point is, on a day, whether you want, this is not an ATR, by the way, but even on ATR, I'm sure of this, is that you're not expecting additional downside to this. We're just way outside of our realm. Sorry, big man, but it's funny though. The point is, let's just say yesterday, right? So here it is. We were already with a big drop yesterday, right here. We were already at -3 standard deviation. My expectation is that we're not going to drop much further on this day right here. This is regular trading hours, the black, space. We're not expecting much more from this, because can we get down all the way to this area? Yeah. But the likelihood, the percentage of it actually falling through is very, very low. If anything, we're going to come right back in. And what happened yesterday? I got short here, took it off basically at the lows. If you guys were here, you guys should know it's pre-market plan. And then we're shorting before we're buying. So even though this run up, we're shorting up here, taking it lower. And then let's just look at the next day, previous day before that. Let's delete this. Look at what happened. Back and forth trade within this daily range right here. We're not trying to get too far from it, because for that day, we're waiting for the numbers of this day right here, which London took it down. So this day was when I was saying, because of the numbers, we're just going to sit on a back and forth trade. Nothing's going to happen. Just wait, right? This Wednesday. And then Tuesday, still sitting with that range. We don't exceed that range very, very, very often. I can highlight days that we exceeded, which is this day right here, which is Feb 2nd, and I'll put it on a 5-minute chart, and go to Feb 2nd. And I'll show you exactly what happens right here. That's 1, that's 2. Wait, why is it not showing my range? What's happening? 1 second. Did I mess up something? I did. No, I did. 30-minute. And then go Feb 2nd. Oh, it doesn't do that. Shit. That's the max. 1 second. Let me change this real quick. I know I'm kind of like I know I'm kind of like going on and on, but just give me a quick second. I just want to show you an extreme day of it. 5 second go. Does it not show? Do I still need to go further? Fuck me. All right, so hopefully this works. All right, there it is. So February 2nd right here. Let me just blah blah. All right. We extend to the +3. What happens? We fall back in at near the close. Because we're just not going to exceed too far from it. You know what I'm saying? Both of you guys. Same thing with this one right here. We exceeded that. We came back in. We're just not going to extend that far. Unless there's some crazy news, we're just not going to exceed it. And I'll go on to say a 15-minute, just to show you guys a little bit more. You guys can see, like this day, right here, we exceeded that daily -3. We came right back in. If you were just to trade the price action around these, +3s, -3s, you'll make a lot of money. This day right here, we exceeded, we came right back in. We just keep on going, it doesn't really matter. Exceeded that right there, came right back in. Are you making a lot of money? No, but that's a pretty fucking easy 10 points right there. This is within that range. Right here, we exceed it, we come right back in. It's just not going to happen very, very often. Even this one, we exceeded well over it. We still came back in before we continued. And this is actually on the close. This candle right here is closed. This is the close of that day. And then we just moved further up. But the point is, we're just not going to exceed it. We stopped right at the +3. This was 30 minutes before the close. Right? Right here. We just couldn't get, you're just not going to get that extension on the daily. It just doesn't work that way. This right here, really good example. We came down past the -3. What did we do at the end of the day? This right here is the beginning of the day, this candle, and the end of the day was right here. What happens? We extended too far for the daily. We came back in. So for me, and this is an example right here. But anyways, the point is, this is how I look at things. I use numbers to back it up, where we can extend to. And I thought that we can extend to what did I say today? 47? Yep, 47, right? So 47 would be right past it. And then my idea was that we're going to come right back in. So, you really have to look at the day type and look at what is possible for that day. There are days where we, shoot right past it and keep going. And I'll try to find it. This day we went back in. Right here. This day we never came back in. And that's okay. One out of however many fucking days it was, right? We never really came back in. I guess this day we came back in. You guys get the point. I don't want to ramble on, but you get the point. This is really fucking beautiful. I remember I traded this day. We came up to a +3, and I was like, whoa, we're really extended. And I covered some really fucking early, and it just ran all the way down. I didn't think that was going to run that low. But it was a beautiful day. All right, so this is one day right here where it just broke and just kept going. And those days happen. One out of whatever days, right? It's fine. Anyways, you guys get the point. I don't want to ramble on. If you guys have questions, you guys can ask. I'm assuming Harvey disappeared. It's interesting. Yeah, it's Harvey.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, like I thought you were speaking.
No, I'm just done rambling. I don't want to go to, you know.
So what would be the impact of the president's birthday or whatever, the President's Day? Nothing.
Hey, no one gives a shit about Brandon.
Brandon? Who's
Oh, you don't know about Brandon?
is that Biden's thing or whatever? I heard this thing. What is that? Yeah, I've heard a little. I don't
Let's
know. What
go,
is
Brandon. It was at a NASCAR event or some shit, and then Joe Biden was there, and then a lot of people were chanting, "Fuck you, Joe Biden," or some shit like that. Fuck Joe Biden. They were saying "fuck Joe Biden," like everyone's chanting that shit.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
the newscaster was like, "Oh, they're chanting, let's go, Brandon." I guess one of the racers was named Brandon. I don't really watch it, but yeah.
Didn't The Rock do something stupid like that too?
I don't know.
Where
I
like
don't
he
really
was
know.
something, and he was chanting, yeah, and he was just like totally saying the wrong thing. Yeah, it was.
All I gotta say is to all the fucking Democrats out there, you guys are a fucking loser because you had 4 years to get rid of Trump. You're the best shit you came up with was Joe Biden. It's fucking sad.
Yeah.
And the Republicans as well. You have 4 years to find a better Republican candidate, and the best was still Trump.
I'm just surprised he's so old.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not saying you're supposed to be young, but he's like really old. Like, I'm surprised he made it the 4 years, to be honest with you.
I love my country, but they're a bunch of fucking idiots, you know? Cosmo, are you there? Yes, not. How'd you trade today?
Me?
Yeah.
One trade plus like 1.75 R or something.
Oh, nice. Good. What is
I
your
could do the
entry?
math on what they are.
I like
Yeah,
going on my
1.73 R on one
Yes.
trade.
Good.
I hit it at short.
You're good at not over trading. You know, so you
I
should
don't
talk.
like, yeah, I don't know. Especially when the market's all fucking retarded like this. So now,
Hey,
did I miss three?
We don't say that.
Did I miss 3 shots? Yes, I did. I missed 3
Yeah,
shots
but
that were
don't you,
perfect.
you can't say retarded, dude.
Oh, sorry, it was handicap.
23,
There's-
dude. Come on,
so-
bro.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
No
sure,
hard R.
whatever. Short at 11:48. Bam. 67.50. I got short there. So I got that one move, and that's that 1.7 R. That's it.
Okay, that's fine. Today's not a day to over trade.
No, and I was like I said, I don't know what happened there last night, but
If I were to have a room that you know people are actually paying for or in, this is the day that I would call throw your mouse away. Because you don't want to click
sure.
it.
Well, what was
Yeah.
yesterday was kind of like that too, right? Like,
No,
to be
yesterday
honest with
was
you,
great.
I think all of, like, I don't know, this whole start of the whole year, really, like, there was only like 2 weeks at the beginning of January, and then the rest of it's all been kind of,
No,
I don't know.
this is
It's been
great,
a little bit
dude.
odd for me, like just the way the flow is, I guess.
I'll tell you this though. Monday we're going, or Tuesday we're going up.
Yeah, you think so? Good.
Yeah. I think
Like
this.
when on though, like is it going to be like right bright and early when you guys get to work at 3 in the morning or whatever?
Yep, London time.
Yeah.
Yep. My guess is London time. We're gonna go up. and we're gonna take that Jackson Hole number.
You really? Yeah, really?
Yeah,
That's big.
think about this. Okay,
Jackson Ho
so
Ho, she's big.
that ho ho bitch.
Big, man. That's a big move.
So I'll put it this way, right?
All in one day, no. No.
No.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
I didn't think so.
All right. So who here? All right. Well, I don't give too much away. Whoever studies fucking shit, right? Like whether it's SMT or SMC or Wyckoff or who's elders? I don't even know what elders. Or like what's the guy's name? Larry Pesavento, who is annoying as hell because he calls me all the time. Do you guys know who Larry Pesavento is, by the way?
I don't.
Okay. Well, you can Google him. He does a lot of like Elliott Wave, Fibonacci stuff. He's published like I don't know, fucking 4 books like that. All of them are saying the same thing. Not, and that's the reason why I'm doing it. But if, I'm not saying that everything is the same shit over and over again. For ES, coming into this rally here, we have this automatic retrace, test, fake out, and it's like pure off whatever. Then for SMT or whatever, or smart money, whatever, there's still liquidity up here, mitigating risk, and to go to the right. Option market theory, we see this, so we need to, or this is also low volume node or volume profile stuff. We need to fill this in, and then after that, we rejected that. Then we're going up. There's just so many things that are saying the same thing, and they're actually using the same shit. It's kind of like religion. They're just all saying the same goddamn thing, but just thinking that their shit's the real shit.
That's the funny part about that religion, eh? They all fucking, yeah, it's all the same. Like I was saying, I can't remember what that. I'll have to look at what that book was that I read about, but it wasn't. It was really eye opening for me because I'm not really religious. It was. All religion is basically the same, and it's all in your soul. Like, so it doesn't matter what religion you have. It's if you have faith, then that's all you need. That is the religion. Which I was like, I never really thought about that like that because it was always like, oh, God and Jesus and this or that, right? Because I'm from where I am. Like I don't have the Messiah or whatever. You know what I mean? Like it's supposed to be like some sort of Anglican, some fucking shit. I don't even know. So that's all I was kind of told, I guess, even though I'm not really that religious, right? So this book was really enlightening. It actually had to do with a bunch of doctors, not really doctors, but healers from all different walks of life. Not walks of life, healers from all different areas on the planet, right? All different nationalities, I guess. I don't know. From way back when, from the 1700s, 1800s, and all that, right? So they all kind of use the power of belief to heal. So if you think you're sick, you're going to be sick. If you think you're not sick, or you think you can fight the sickness.
That's like The Secret, where it's like you attract what you like.
What's that?
You attract what you like.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, exactly. Yeah. And it was really, but they put the religion spin on it, and I was like, that's really eye-opening.
Is Faggots like actually talking and trading? Should we go bother him?
Well, you're the only one that can bother him, and he'll
Oh,
be
true.
bothered as soon as you get there.
Yeah,
He-
I like bothering.
he gets, yeah, I know, but it's what is it? It's almost half. We got 30 minutes left, so he might be
Oh,
trying to grind
no.
out something. You never know.
Harvey, remember what I taught you yesterday?
Sorry, say that again.
Do you remember what I taught you yesterday?
Depends what time of night it was.
Oh, fine.
Yes, I do.
Okay, go look at it. See what happened today.
Oh no, that's no. I already got a picture already built up. Already got it. Oh, wait, which one is it? There it is.
Did you make money off of it though?
Did I make money off of it though? No. But I believe it's not a short game. And then this will help me make money. Maybe not today, but tomorrow. And just because today was really it was the day. Today was the day. So today was the inflection point of what was to come, at least for a little bit, I believe, right? Because of where we touched down. And the other fact of the matter, I got to change the time frame here, but let's go that big. Yeah, the fact of the matter that gap up failed. Yeah, we broke out above, but we didn't get to our really tasty number. Where is it? Yeah, our tasty number of 105. I can click on it. 105,631. We kind of just stopped the pursuit of that. So it's an interesting spot we're at right now.
Yeah. I'm just saying there's upside to this.
Yeah, the picture is showing upside. Yeah.
Hmm.
How much? Now, what
Well,
are you
depends.
saying? Jackson? Where is Jackson? Where is Jackson? Let me just. Jackson
Hold on, my shit's
74. Okay.
You get a lot of
84.
alerts. 43.
Oh, sorry. Way up there.
Yeah.
4320.
43.
Yeah.
A little bit higher.
Yeah, sure. Like to break it,
40,
sure.
43.34 or something.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so do we have enough firepower or whatever mustard in the tank here to?
Not today, no.
No, obviously not today. But I mean, is the whole move not being suppressed enough? So again, we're going to have to wait for the 132.17 or 132.15 to kind of tell us what's going to happen there now, right? Again, we'll see what the timing brings of where ES is actually going to live at that point, right? Because we could hit that 78 like 5 more times. I don't know, as many times as they fucking please. Really. And we could break through it a little bit. That's what I was saying. That we can go through it a little bit, and everybody's gonna be, "Oh fuck yeah, right on, we're right." And then no, and it pulls it back, and then it just gives this other guy a little more time.
Yeah.
To get him all straightened out into where he wants to be, and then because this is the whole thing is time. Like you're saying, it's not news is a driver. It's not a directional, like it's just the speed of the car, right? Like the plan, I've always said this. I was like, the whole thing is bullish, to be honest with you, full out bullish. And until you stop selling stuff to people and building new AI or getting somebody a new fucking phone or the new laptop or the curved screen TV or the electric car that's extra fast or it does even more mileage or we're sending rockets to space to launch more fucking satellites than ever. We're not exploring fuck all anymore. We're using it as a fucking what do you call it? Like a delivery service now. The spaceship is our delivery service to space now, just so we can get more satellites, so we can be more fucking informed the internet or whatever, right? So I guess the long story short is, it's growth. We're as a human race, we're just continually going to grow. So the stock market, in turn, should go up. In the grand scheme of the whole thing. And we're the dummies trying to catch every little bit and bob of it as it's doing it. Right.
No, I agree.
If that doesn't make any sense.
No, it does. Watch 7350 or so.
7350, like right now on the ES chart.
Yeah. If we can get there before in the next 5 minutes or so,
It's pretty
we
deep,
can get
dude.
a bounce. Yeah, it is.
Pretty deep, but I mean, it's not like it's unheard of that it can rip its face off like that. Like that's not.
I'm just playing around with
That's
Sierra, so or no, Jigsaw. So I'm not really taking a trade right now, but it's still hypothetical that I would have shorted at 83.75, minigame my risk at 81.25. So this is not a real trade, just a FY. I just want to make sure that things are working properly with my new settings on Jigsaw. If I were to use this for you guys to see, so yeah, just a FY. This is 7. I've already met my target goal for the day, and I'm not planning on fucking entering anything here. So
I don't know why you're changing what you're doing to please us for watching. What the fuck? Why would you bother?
no, I mean I'm just testing it as well.
I'm just like what the fuck? If it makes you lose a trade, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
No, this is just
And you're gonna
Hey
go ahead
Peter,
and
if
blame it on me, and then fucking holy fuck.
Peter, if it's working for you, and if you want to share it with the people within the levels chatter, by all means, you have my blessing to share it. If they want it, but I don't want you to tout it. If they want it, they'll ask you. A lot of people don't use it, and if they don't use it, that's their fault. Good on you for programming it, though. I don't need it because I have on training view, so I don't really care for it. But I was only going to ask, Santos and whatever to do it because I know a lot of you guys use Sierra. Sierra is really just for execution, certain execution. It looks like I'm gonna get stopped. Yep, I got stopped out. Like I said, it was on sim, guys. So just relax. Although we'll take because we just bounced off -1. Wait, you guys can't hear me? Is that what they're saying? Thanks, Peter. Oh, you did share it. Oh, shit, sorry. I totally missed that. It looks like Jigsaw's working well. Can you guys hear me though? Jigsaw's working well, so I think I lost some money, some sim money. Dude. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get down to 750, so yeah, just scratch it. I think MOC's coming in will propel us to 9750. If you're looking at trade it. Maybe 105.25, but highly doubt it. 9750 is good. Peter, has it been helping you, the dailies?
Do those Pepsi symbols help you?
I don't even know what the fuck it is, to be honest with you. This is just like, what is it? This is just back at setting from like years and years ago, so I don't even know if he uses it anymore. That's good, Peter. Good that you look at it. It's just more of a estimation of what we can accomplish for the RTH session. Harvey, this setting is back at setting, so and this setting was like 3 years ago, so he's probably changed it by now. I have no idea what the Pepsi symbol is. I'm assuming it's like absorption. Just did a double top here. Do you think we need to get down to 74? But that's probably gonna happen on Monday. Six is good. I remember why I don't like looking at DOM is because it tricks you into certain things, into thinking something's happening. Like, for instance, like this sell off right here, like it makes you feel if you're just staring at it and nothing else. It makes you feel like, oh shit's selling off. But in reality, nothing's selling off. It moved a couple points. So I remember why I hated the Dawn, especially Jigsaw, because it makes you feel like it's a big move, but it's really not. Thanks, Ticket. I didn't know that. Did Packet sign off? Why are people joining my shit? Yep, he signed up. Yeah, I've been streaming for a long time. This one more push down. Yep, that's a lot of buys. That's a lot of buys. Right. So it does work. It helps me mitigate risk. That's good. Let's do it one more time. Mitigators. 125, 125. We'll do it. Mitigating risk at 8450. This is all STEM. I just want to double check to make sure it works. Okay, it does. So let's see if we'll cancel everything all at once. So yeah, it's real 7475. Actually. Yeah, push 25. Whatever. Let's see if it works. So Chronos Pro 8575, just send, by the way. Just want to make sure that their shit's working. And it's 2 MAE, guys. 2. People in Fat Cat's room, how do you do today? Oh, maybe. I just took a 2 MAE against a 19 MFE. Does that make people excited?
Very. You have Jigsaw? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I just don't use it. I have a lifetime thing. I still think it's gonna fall back to 75. You use too many, John. Too many.
I'm gonna get Jigsaw next year or something if I'm still in the game.
You will be. You have really good pre-market prep. We're coming into daily -1 right now, so it's naturally going to hold here for a bit, like it did previously. That's why I exited. But it was sim, like I said. I just needed to make sure that Jigsaw is working the way I like it to work. I think MAE, MFE is fun, in a sense where you kind of it's a fun little mini game, but I think in the grand scheme of things, it's detrimental to trading. You're not going to be precise. You shouldn't want to be that precise.
I'll try out your little trick of doing the old 2-point stop loss. Next
Well, you don't
Monday.
have to do 2 points. It's more like just
No.
getting the confirmation. That's all.
No, I'll go on sim next week and give it a shot for a week.
Yep. Yeah. Let me know how it goes. We can refine it a little bit. We're heading into MOCs right now, so these fluctuations are perfectly fine. Let's see if I can.
Yeah, Harvey. I'm pretty addicted to this. I don't think I can get away from doing this at all. I'm stuck.
See if I do for what would happen.
There's no other option but to succeed. It's the only way I can stay in this game long enough. But
Facts.
Just follow rule number 1 and you're good.
What's rule number 1?
Don't do anything stupid.
Oh, that's Harvey's rule.
It's a good rule.
Let's see if this works. 400. I'm just switching different contract sizes to make sure it works for me. Okay, well, it doesn't help me. But I just did there. I'm just entering randomly, guys. Don't follow this. I just want to know that it's going to execute my orders correctly. Holy shit, let me make sure this is. All right, send. All right, dude. Show me it works. Come on. test more now since this. Actually, fuck, I can just do this. Execute me. Okay. All right. It works then. Wow. Sure. Okay. I'm not leaving Sarah chart. I'm just. Some people said that it's either C on Jigsaw, and it's the reason why I'm testing Jigsaw. Um, I'm I might start streaming live on YouTube. People have requested it because they can see it more clearly. So I'm just testing out Jigsaw.
Twitch.
I thought about Twitch. Someone had that suggestion, but I'm not also, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Jack has been asking me to do a YouTube channel, and I rather give what I know for people who come in here um, on a daily basis than to give it to the masses and have it accessible to anyone. Maybe it's a little bit, I guess, egotistical of me, but I do feel like what I share here is pretty fucking, something that you don't get anywhere else. So I don't really want it out there too much. It's not secretive red pie. It's just no one teaches it. So, and I paid a lot of money to learn it, and I don't really want to give it away like that. There's no resources about it at all. Your resource is this chat. But I can tell you the ones that do stick around, and you know, at least I think it's just me being presumptuous here. But those who stick around and you know try to learn, I think they benefit from it. I can't say for sure. I just think that they do. Harvey's one of those guys, so you can ask him if he's benefited from it. So if I exit here, wait, let me exit. Does it kill all orders? Does it? Does it? Shit, it's gonna take me out. Oh, it's okay. It does kill orders. Okay. So what if I do? I paid money to the old heads of the CME to learn it. The guys that I'm part of one of the guys that I'm part of the group with. He's showed me quite a bit. So target and ticks, put it at it. I found him through. Oops, let me choose this. I found him through. Oh, it does work. All right, let's see if it works. I found him through friends. That we were talking, and funny thing is, that guy's not in our group because I don't know if the old heads like him or not, but or what happened, but he essentially got kicked out. To be part of that group, you got to bring something. You don't have to be of someone, but you have to bring something to the table. And then for a while, I didn't bring anything. They allowed me in the group. And then I asked one of the guys, like, hey, how do you do this? Blah, blah. And he goes, I have a course. It's a private course, and it's a shitty course in a sense where you pay him, and it's just a bunch of recordings. Long story short, I learned it, and then it took hours and hours of watching it, maybe at the very least, like 5 times. And each video, and they have like 37 videos of just recordings of people shooting the shit. Probably like 25 to 30 videos. And each an hour or something long, at the very least. And then I joined the group, start contributing to that group. And yeah, I mean, it's just now I'm just a lifer now. Yeah, it's secret. It's not secretly recorded. People who are in their nodes record it, but it's a video where my name is plastered all over it, meaning you cannot distribute it. If you do, then people know who did it, and your real name is not like Zeero to Trader or something like that. So everyone knows each other's real name. So that's how I found them. And one of the guys in there, and I keep on saying it, but is Ira Harris, and there's a lot of old head analysts of Paul Tudor Jones is in there. A lot of export members of CME, ex-floor traders, current fund managers. It's just all up in that thing. So
Zero.
yeah, yeah.
When I said the cum drinker, you understand that you know what that reference was, right?
No, I don't. Oh, sorry, I just saw now. What was that?
So there's a legendary story that on the CME floor, they all collected money together, and one guy was like, "I bet you I can drink a whole cup of this horse cum."
Really?
Uh, and then a bunch of the London Exchange guys were like, "We want to join in too. We'll bet he can." And one heroic CME trader was like, "Bring me a big cup." So they found like,
Well,
yeah,
Ira's not here right now. Is he here? Let me check. Ira, he's not in here right now. He must be doing some kind of podcast. Wait, is this serious, or are you gonna get me fucking laughed at?
this guy that I follow, Champ Carson, used to also be a part of the CME floor, and that was like one of those.
How do you spell it? Can you spell it out? Like, can you write it out? Tesla's acting really funny today. Hey, Judd, do you know a Kem Carson? Oh, okay. Suppose he worked at a CME or something like that. It's spelled CEM. He, oh, right. Okay. I'll ask Ira. Yeah. I was just curious. Oh, Penn knows him. Looks like his wife passed away. Oh shit. No, he doesn't. He doesn't know him, but we gotta ask Ira. Penn knows him. Yeah, she said he's Turkish or something. He's a young guy. I don't know. They're talking about it now. I guess he trades a lot of options. I don't know. Wait, Brad Pie, so you're saying Kem Garcon is the one that drank the cum?
Oh no, he didn't.
Oh,
I don't.
okay.
I don't know who drank the cum. That was one of the stories he had on the floor.
Okay. See.
Because he was like the CME or like back in the day, day traders. People think like they were like sophisticated people, and he's like,
Yeah.
nah, some of them are like real animals.
Yeah, they're not. The guys that are in here are not at all. They're kind of, yeah, not even close to it.
Like some of the docs about the old like trading floors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They were like really degenerate looking.
Yeah.
Think of former in the 70s and 80s, former Division One football players that were about 6'4", 280 pounds. A lot of the floor traders were big guys, particularly before
Italian
the
Jewish guys, right?
automation. What?
Italian and Jewish guys.
Yep.
Yeah, there was like this guy in the interview who's like, well, they had to look at me for hand signals, but you know, they have to see you. So I wore a very bright suit and a rainbow suit, and I wore it every day.
Who's here right now? I wish you guys can talk to some of these guys. These guys are, especially Andrew. Angela's really, really good too. Let's see if Angela's there. Let's see. Today was not a great day to trade, huh?
You guys notice something? I just started recently noticing. There is no continuation of a trend day, like a second day trend. It has always balanced. Like I'm not sure how many times now, but every time we get a trend day, we balance the next day. Like there's no second day trend.
Yeah, we're scared, right? It feels like people are scared, in my opinion.
John
Is that
Deere
what
is
you're getting at?
What's
Sorry,
that?
yeah, I didn't hear
John Deere isn't scared.
it. I'm just scared.
That's probably one of the best performing securities over the past few years in my long-term portfolio.
John Deere.
Yeah,
How's it doing? It has earnings today.
it popped. Their anticipated order book is pretty reassuring despite the anticipated economic slowdown.
And they probably get into a lot of robotics, huh? AI and all that.
Automated farm equipment. There's always going to be a demand for it, but I'm trying to think of. Yeah, when it was added to my long-term portfolio in March of 2020, so right around when the market bottomed, and it's been quite resilient. Is it at all-time highs today? I know, a bit off all-time highs.
John Deere?
Yeah,
Really? Jesus Christ. What the hell is going on? What did you say it was, numbers?
it's around about 430 today.
No, I meant like you said that it was earnings or what?
Yeah, they had earnings today.
Hmm. Thanks. Have a good weekend. Sorry, signing off on my other group. Um. Anyways, okay, I'm done. If you guys have questions, let me know. If not, I'm probably gonna sign off.
Yeah, I'll stick around for a little bit and then probably call it.
All right, numbers. I'll talk to you on the weekend. I'll
Yeah,
message
take
you.
care. Enjoy your weekend. Sleep a bit, please.
Yeah, yeah. Safe weekend. What the fuck? How did you know I was gonna go drink? All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yep, take care.
I'll probably be here Monday for some prep, but yeah, just message me. All right, later, guys.
Good night. God. Everyone have a reasonably productive trading day.
I trade less, but I made money.
Yeah, that's something. Did you cover your fees and commissions?
Yes.
That's all that matters then, at least for the interim. Unless it's your full source of income, then that's a different discussion.
No, this is not my only source.
Yeah, I don't trade OPEX.
When you said I went, where were we? Yeah, I was okay. I really wasn't certain where we closed compared to open since I'm really not looking at that. I can't do basic arithmetic right now. I don't know if anyone has, Cosmo's not here. I was going to say, I don't know if anyone has any questions. If not, I don't even know what I'm going to do with myself right now. So I was going to say, I'm going to go do this. I need to go to the gym later, but I'm dead inside. So we'll see.
Do you do the LTW lifts?
The what list?
I don't know what it's really called. My physical therapy friend told me about it. It's to work on the rotator cuff muscles.
Now I'm curious.
Something wrong with your shoulders or something? Red pie?
Yeah, he's referring to shoulders, but I haven't heard. You said LTF or LTW? What?
Oh, no, I'm trying to see if I can find it.
I may have to go cycle another 100 kilometers with how I'm feeling right now.
Like this.
Oh, YTWL. Yeah. I don't do those, but I'm quite familiar with them. Hold on. Yeah, those are the planes of motion which you want to work through, particularly if you're seated at a desk most of the day. I'd recommend most individuals do those exercises and add a bit of resistance to it as well.
Like he told me, he told me like it's like for rotator cuffs, and then a lot of people don't work them out. So we tried like getting big guys at the gym to do it, and they can barely do like 20 pounds with it.
I would say most people can barely do 20 pounds with it. However, one of the most neglected exercises is standing overhead press, which that should be prioritized over flat bench. Flat bench has no carryover or functionality unless you're a power lifter. Standing overhead press actually takes your joint through a range of motion and then emphasizes your delt work. Far too many people are seated at a desk all day and then they neglect their back in rear delts. Unless you're a powerlifter, why flat bench? No benefit to it.
I do like standing overhead with dumbbells. I don't like it with the bar.
Yeah, either or is fine. I do both. But for 99.9% of the population, being able to take your joint through a range of motion under load is quite important. But benching, you're not taking it really through a range of motion. Unless you're trying to push someone away from you. Oh, I'm tired. If you follow any of the physical therapy pages on Instagram, this is one of the most recommended exercises.
Can you link some of the physical therapy pages you mentioned?
Yeah. Or look, this is probably one of the best, but Squat University. Oh, fuck, I still need to book an Airbnb. God. I'm not happy about this. My friend's being exceedingly indecisive, and several of the Airbnbs I was considering have now been booked. Yeah, face pulls are good. Depending on how they're performed. Zeero went to bed. Cosmo. Maybe he'll respond. Depends on the dumbbells you're using. In all candor, plates. And the reason being is the center of mass is completely different in how the weight's distributed. I guess if there's one highlight on the day, funneling anxiety and frustration into cycling. I would say A, mobility work, and B, probably more stability exercises as well. But first and foremost, mobility. Second, emphasize your rear delts. Every pressing movement with bench dumbbells emphasizes your anterior delt, but in all candor, the posterior delt with how it connects into Terry's Major, Terry's Minor, along with into the, yeah, so that's going to be more important, is stabilizing your shoulder. Oh my gosh. Ah. Oh. What does everyone have planned for the weekend? They're going to be hermits as well. Actually, oh, Scar. I may have a few questions about Airbnbs in San Francisco since I have yet to book mine. And I'm supposed to be there Thursday morning. Geez. I arrive Thursday morning. I depart Sunday night at 11:58 p.m. Pacific time. The Airbnbs I was going to book are now taken, unfortunately, because my friend has been pretty indecisive. Therefore, there aren't many options remaining in convenient areas. I initially preferred the Marina District or Mission District, but there's not much remaining there now. I may purchase a bike in San Francisco too. One of the other areas which my friend said isn't the most convenient, but is okay, is, let me see. Person has another listing. I swear, if this was also booked. Give me one moment. Oh no, a new road bike. Because the selection in San Francisco is far better than Pittsburgh. And then I probably would ride it up across the bridge over, and do a fair bit of climbing in Mount Tam. My friend isn't supposed to arrive until Friday, and then she's going to sleep the entire day. On Thursday, I'm meeting up with one of my close trading friends for most of the day. This isn't a particular, from what I've seen, this is an okay location, not the most convenient. I assume you might agree. Unfortunately, the Airbnb that I want is only available for 30 plus days. Well, she's not going to be biking. It's more or less being in a convenient area. She's coming in from San Diego. And the initial Airbnb was supposed to be in the Marina District. The host canceled, then transitioned to Mission District. But it was then booked by the time she responded. I'm not particularly happy about how it's developed, but yeah, the plans are good food, good company. As I'm seriously considering saying, fuck it, booking an Airbnb for a month and leaving 4 days, 5 days later. As there really aren't good options remaining at the moment.